Good morning.
How you doing?
Not too bad. Yeah.
Right, so
There's room at the back there, isn't it?
See mama.
Yeah, I've got one double upstairs. Right, you're all more than welcome. My name's Anne, our driver is John, okay? What we're going to do is 2 little circuits off the bus depot, you know? So you're not here for very long, in other words, okay? But you're more than welcome. Now, you may think, or when you look at this road, mate, it just looks like a bus, a big garage, doesn't it? But that was not its original purpose. It was never intended to be a garage. If we just stop just for a couple of minutes as we go forward here, look over to your left-hand side, and I don't know if you've already spotted the dome, okay, which is very unusual in a garage, because it was originally the Edinburgh Exhibition Association. This was a big exhibition hall. Maybe the way to equate it, some of you may be familiar with the old Waverley market area next to the railway station, which is now the Waverley Mall, the shopping centre. That used to be the Edinburgh Exhibition area. Okay, but that's why the bus station has got that, you know, the very unusual dome. Right. So if we're going to move from the dome like to the exterior ramp, all right. But just to give you a little idea here, the exhibitions were so popular that they ran out of space at Waverley, and that's why the Exhibition Association bought this land from the Hope Trust, and they paid £40,000 for it, 1922, and 4 months. They built the bus depot, which is now behind you or over to your right hand side. As we make our way up the ramp, because we're going to go to the newer part of it. And to give you an idea, for the opening of it, where is it? I've got it here. It was the Duke and Duchess of Atholl in 1922, in October 1922. And I think this is a fantastic quote. The notes tell us that there was about 15,000 visitors came to see this grand opening of a new exhibition centre, but the press, the media, and I'll read this here, said at the time the Scotsman reported how Annandale Street was a scene of unwanted bustle. Hundreds of people seen in the afternoon turned into battalions of thousands by the evening. I think that was a wee bit of an exaggeration. I don't know, but it just shows you what was happening. Right, this is the engineering, the newer part. You can see that yourself, or the extension of it. And this is where, when the buses are finished for the day, they come here. All the fueling pumps. This is called the fueling area. The buses are checked to see how much fuel they've actually used. This is all part of their new environmental scheme. And if one bus is used a lot, excessive amount, it's taken away and checked because they want to know why, or is there a fault with it. Also, maybe some of you spotted the blue machines down there, because they add something to the fuel, so that they can reduce the emissions that come out of it. So just to jump back to the exhibition hall here, it was initially used for the first big event in the place. Was like Scottish grocers, bakers, confectionaries, allied shopkeepers, all sorts of things. It was even used at Christmas time, the big carnival fairs, motor fairs, all sorts of things actually used to take place here. And then, unfortunately, the Edinburgh Exhibition Centre, they ran into financial difficulties. So that was when the Edinburgh Corporation got hold of it, and they just turned it into a bus depot. That was all, actually doing nothing. Extensions were built, etc., etc. Engineering part, as we go forward, you've got where the buses get washed. Yeah, we're okay This is where we've got to be really nice to our driver, all right? Just in case he decides to go over to your left-hand side. You know? So we want to stay to the right-hand side. Otherwise, quite a few at the back there are going to get a wee bit wet. But I think we're okay. Most of you have probably maybe been on that one anyway. But that's where all the buses coming in, they would get washed at night time anyway. And then that's all behind all the screens, and this is where all the pits are, you know, where all the hard work goes on.
Engineering call,
Sorry?
engineering call.
Yeah, the engineer. They're obviously in for repair or something. And we're down the ramp again. You can see the difference with the old original one and the new one, because above us the beams and that they're in different directions because they hadn't changed any of these. So if you missed it the first time, it gives you another wee chance to actually see it properly, or just imagine what it must have been like when it was on its own. And the dome there, of course, that would have been for giving all the light into it, you know, when it was an exhibition centre. Normally this is the Edinburgh tour bus, you know, they usually do around the city, and strangely enough our buses are always kept at Marine, down near Portobello. You know, we don't garage them here, so they get cleaned etc. elsewhere. The only other place that I know that have got big domes like that would have been the Royal Bank of Scotland in St Andrew's Square, you know, and the dome itself in George Street. So it's very, very unusual. These are some of the older buses, like the Route Masters over there on your left, that you can hire them. You've maybe seen them going around the city anyway, you know, for wedding specials and all different things. And remember, Annandale Street didn't look like what it does nowadays, not in the 1920s. No way. Yeah, it was the in 1965 it was the Lothian Region Transport. By 1999 it was Lothian Transport, as it is to this day. You know, so it was 1999 that it actually became Lothian Transport. Prior to that it was Lothian Region Transport. So we'll go through the fueling bays again. And I don't know if any of the wee ones on board, I presume they all had their shower this morning, eh? So they don't need another one, because I think our driver is moving over to the wrong side of the, in case he forgets. It should be fine. What they also do nowadays with like it's meant to be like saving the environment, etc. If a bus is brought in, if there's a fault, the computers, what they do is they sort of plug it in, etc. It's only that part of the chassis that will actually get washed. Is to save money, etc. You know, because they've got a robotic arm that comes out, and it's not the whole underneath, whatever. It's only one area that will get done because the fault has been identified in that area. You know, but you'd really have to be behind there. You can see the big robotic arm that comes out and isolates it. Yep, we're not going left. We're going to the right. A quick swerve. Go down the ramp again, and that's us. So This is the extension. Most of the extension really came about the 1930s, 1933. It was added on for this new part. So once we get round to the bus stop, folks, you probably know by now. I mean, you obviously you can stay on. You can go on the wash bus again if you wish, or the red one. There's no actual difference, you know. And remember, you can get some food around here as well. Although I believe you've got to pay for your burgers, but I think the ice cream is free. Check on that. Okay. Or the good ones. So thanks for coming, okay? Remember to take everything with you. Remember to